Hello guys, nandito pa ako sa park. Mamaya pupunta ako sa bahay. Present na naman ako sa video. Gagawa ako ng video regarding the mathematics board exam sample question na it's about using the trigonometric identities and trigonometric functions. See you! The distance from point A, square root of 6 cosine theta, and square root of 2 sine theta, to the center of an ellipse is equal to 2. If the equation of an ellipse is 2x squared plus 6y squared is equal to 12, find the value of theta. Now, here it is an ellipse. Okay? And the distance from the center to point A, we will designate this one as point A. It is here. It's point A is equal to 2. It's from the center of the ellipse to point A is equal to 2. Now, ang question dito, find the value of theta. Now, here, from this, the rough sketch I made, ang A dito, square root of 6 cosine theta, square root of 2, means this one, the x, the first one is x, who represents as the x, and the second one is the y. The x and the y, okay? Now, if we will let x is equal to square root of 6 cosine theta and y, which is equal to square root of 2 sine theta. Therefore, we can solve, because here, see, pwede tayo makaform ng right triangle. From this one, kasi ang distance from the center to the point A, center of the ellipse to point A is equal to 2. So, i-sketch natin yan dito. Ilabas natin itong ano dito, itong ma-form natin na right triangle. Ilabas natin dito, lakihan natin. So, ito yung 2. Ito i-designate natin ng x1 at saka ito the y1. So, from here, the x1 is the distance from here to this point. Lagay natin yan na. Halimbawa, ilagay natin nito na O1. Okay. So, kasi dito, ang x niya is square root of 6 cosine theta. That means, ito yun. Papunta dito. Yan. So, from the distance from here to this side is equal to x1, which is equal to square root of 6 cosine theta minus 0, kasi dito tayo nag-umpisa sa dito, point, sa center. So, 0 ang x dito. So, punta natin dito, merong square root of x 6 cosine theta minus 0. So, dito, this is the A point. Square root of 6 cosine theta minus 0. And y1, i-represent natin from 0 to square root of 2 sine theta. Which is, so, y distance now, the distance from this one to this one is equal to square root of 2 sine theta minus 0. So, from here, minus 0, this is the y1 and this is the x1. Now, using the Pythagorean theorem, kasi dito kailangan natin isolve ang theta dito kasi, kaya dito kasi, ma-form natin. So, ni-represent natin, as I've said earlier, represent natin x1 as this one minus 0, and y1, which is equal to this, minus 0. So, if you will use the Pythagorean theorem on this one, we represent this one as this d. So, d squared is equal to x1 squared plus y1 squared. Substituting the values of this on here, at saka ang d niya, it's equal to 2. So, 2 squared is equal to 4. Now, here it is. 4 is equal to, kasi square root of 6 cosine theta is minus 0 is equal to square root of 6 cosine theta only. So, simplifying, square root of 6 cosine theta squared plus square root of 2 sine theta squared is equal to 4. Now, ibig sabihin, dito, alam natin na square root of a number times the square root of another, the same number will result to the number itself. So, here, square root of 6 cosine theta means square root of 6 squared is equal to 6. Square root of 6 raised to the power 2 is equal to 6. Cosine theta raised to the power 2 will be represented by this one, cosine squared theta, which is the same as cosine theta squared. Plus, ito rin, square root of 2 multiplied by square root of 2 is equal to 2. So, sine theta squared is equal to sine squared theta. So, ito yung ilagay natin yan na equation 1. Now, ang ano natin dito, ang hinahanap natin dito is the theta, the angle. The angle here, the angle, theta. So, hindi pa natin yan mahanap dito, base dito. Kasi, yun nga hinahanap natin. Hindi pa, kasi mayroon cosine, at saka mayroon sine. So, hindi natin, kung iisa lang sana yan, halimbawa dito cosine, so pwede na natin ma-solve ang theta. Kaya lang, dalawang function pa nandiyan, cosine at saka sine. So, how to get rid of this one? It's either sine or cosine. Now, gamitan natin sa mathematics yung trigonometric function. Trigonometric function, mayroong isang function, isang formula doon na sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta is equal to 1. So, from this, through this one, we can substitute some values here to this equation. So, we will represent this one as equation B, the second one. Therefore, from this equation 2, we'll see that sine squared theta is equal to 1 minus cosine squared theta. So, meron na tayong value ng sine squared theta. I-substitute natin dito sa equation A. Therefore, 6 cosine squared theta plus 2 times the value of sine squared theta, which is equal to 1 minus cosine squared theta. Simplifying this one will result to 4 plus 4 equals 4 cosine squared theta plus 2. Now, here it is. Divided by 2 will result to cosine squared theta is equal to 2 over 4 or equal to 1 half. Now, ano ibig sabihin ng cosine squared theta as I've said earlier? It is the cosine theta raised to the power 2. So, here it is. Is equal to 1 half. Now, to get rid of this 2, we have to multiply both sides by 1 half. So, kung i-multiply mo yung sa taas na by 1 half, the power by 1 half, it will become 2 times 1 half will become 1. So, this cosine theta will become cosine theta alone, not squared, equals to the 1 half, it will become the square root because 1 half will be represented by square root. So, square root of 1 half, which is 0.5, is equal to 0.707. Now, from this one, cosine theta, you can use your calculator or you can use it manually because theta therefore is 45 degrees. Kasi, kung maalaala ninyo, itong, dito, kung 45 degrees yan, means 1 this square root of 2. Now, ang cosine theta, halimbawa, i-ano natin ang cosine theta. Cosine is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. This is the adjacent, this is the opposite, and this is the hypotenuse. Okay. So, therefore, here, base dito sa ano na to, sa sketch na to, ang cosine theta, therefore, is equal to 1 over the hypotenuse, which is square root of 2. Kasi ang square root of 1 is equal to 1. Square root of 2, okay? So, theta therefore is equal to 45.